Today me and my colleagues are going to be talking about media and globalization. Chantal is going to be talking about what influence does the media have on citizens. Anna is going to be talking about how transparent the media is in the USA. Miro is going to be talking about how transparent the media is in the Netherlands. And finally, Stephanie is going to be talking about the differences between the media in the USA and in the Netherlands. And we're going to mainly focus on
Chantal and I'm going to talk about what influence does the media have on citizens. Well, according to Mr. Logan Esdale, who is professor on the Chapman University, he says that the media is often compared as God because the media has an influence on people and has an influence on the decisions that people make. Well, the media doesn't only have political influence and social influence on citizens, but also an influence when it comes to crime and justice. Because according to Ms. Roberts, who is also a professor from the Marymount University, television and print media provide information on social things like criminals and justice, and yeah, that information is can often be wrong, and researchers of criminal and justice issues have also stated that the most information that is placed in printed media and also on television is often wrong or is often from a different angle than it is in real life. And that was what I found. And
hi, I'm Anna, and I will tell you something more about media transparency in the USA, and then particularly for the transparency on the television networks. Well, the television networks of the USA are not that transparent. They don't show they don't give us information about their fundings, about their budget, about what their objective is, and they also don't give any information about their organizational structure and what the working conditions within their company or within their organizations are, so how the employees are treated and what their income is. And the most important thing is that well, the television networks of the USA use a lot of commercials, and within that commercials you see a lot of information about products or programs, but most of the time these are only positive images and positive pictures or positive information, and they will not provide you with well, other information that is a little bit more negative. And that's also you see in the news. They, most of the time they only show good news and not critical.
Hi, I'm Miro, and I will talk about the transparency of the media in the Netherlands. First of all, I would like to give an example about a research which was made in the Netherlands, and the Dutch citizens trust the media, like television and radio, more than they trust the governmental bodies in the Netherlands. Trust in the media is still relatively high compared to other institutions, and the trust in media is relatively stable. People trust the media enough to rely on them as primary sources of information. Another example is the questionnaire which was made in the Netherlands for the transparency about climate change for the brand company to minimize and reduce the carbon emissions, but it didn't show any information about this, how to do it, or if they cooperate with another organization.
Hi, I'm Stephanie, and today I'm going to answer the question, what are the differences between the media in the United States of America and in the Netherlands? Well, I looked at it from the structure kind of way, so I really studied the structure of these television networks in the USA and in the Netherlands, and I came up with 3 points that are really different from each other. First of all, in the Netherlands there are two separated broadcasting systems. First of all, public service broadcasting, and secondly commercial broadcasting systems. And you also have these in the USA, but the public service broadcasting system is a lot smaller than in the Netherlands. And these networks are really struggling in the USA because they get little help from the government, and in the Netherlands they get a lot of help from the government. And the second point is, in the Netherlands the public service broadcasting system evolved from pillarization, which basically means that groups of people, religious people, social groups, are organizing their own institutions so that they can come together and discuss that. And in the USA, it is based on its origins lies in religious interests. And third and final point is that the structure in the Netherlands, there are two big companies that own all the channels, such as the RTL group, which owns RTL 4, RTL 5, and 8, and 7. And in the USA, there are 4 big broadcasting networks, such as the NBC, CBS, ABC, and Fox. So the structure you can see is
I'm glad you came. I'm glad
question about the transparency in the United States. Well, do you think it's a cultural thing that they hide so much and they don't show a lot on their website or things about media?
No, I don't think it's really related to their culture. It's just, well, maybe it is, but then more the culture of the history, because in the past it was a tradition, or not really a tradition. You couldn't say negative things or criticize on the television. That was just not appropriate, and that's just went on, and it's just still in their culture, but more related to the culture in the history than it is for now. So actually they should be a little bit more modern this nowadays, but they just keep it this way.
Because in the Netherlands the transparency is kind of high, it's not as low as in the United States, but you can learn and read more about transparency in the Netherlands. So do you think it also has to do with culture or the history?
No. What Anne said is true about their history, but that was the same in the Netherlands. It wasn't appropriate to criticize people in front of the television, but I think the Netherlands are less strict about their levels, I think.
And
you can say more and do more on television.
But still, programs like the reality series Villa, it's all fake, and I think that's the same in every country.
Yeah, let's talk about those programs, because in every country you see those pre-constructed programs. What do you think about it?
I think we can conclude that we don't want the media to be more critical, but we want the audience, mainly the young audience, to be critical at what they're seeing and not just believe anything like the reality shows or the news we get from the news stations, because it's mostly prefabricated and they just broadcast what they want us to know, not the whole story. So
but
I think we want everyone to.
But don't you think that people like that? Because I like not all of those shows, but I like several shows, and I know now that these shows are pre-constructed, but I still like them. So it is also what the managers, producers of those shows want you to see, and they know that you want something like that.
It's not like they don't have to watch them anymore, but they have to know it's not real, like it's not really reality.
How can you know?
Because they mostly are, most of them.
If you do research about it,
Yeah.
then everything's fake.
And also you hear from a lot of people that do reality shows, they get a script. Well, not everything, but they get a script before or of what they're supposed to do in big lines.
Yeah, for example, in shows like Idols, Pop Stars, and in the Netherlands, The Voice of Holland, and stuff like that, before you come to the judges who come on television or are broadcasted on television, you have to go through 3 stages of different juries and
auditions.
Auditions. So people, I mean, the judges see that you can't sing, but just to get a higher amount of
viewers.
Of television viewers, they just let the people go on to go to the judges of the television just to have a higher amount of viewers.
Make fun of them.
Yeah. So it is because the producers know that when you laugh about people and when you make fun of people, that attracts more viewers.
Sure. But do you also think that, for example, as Paul earlier said, that transparency in the USA is very low, but do you think because the transparency is very low, they will have more pre-constructed programs and shows rather than countries where the transparency level is higher, such as Netherlands, where they're more open and you can read more about different companies and television shows, that they would do less kind of pre-constructed messages and shows than in the USA?
Yeah, I think so, because the United States, it's not really that it's their culture to be closed and not in the world, and they are they have the biggest power of
Media power.
Yeah, media power and just power of government also. So they can do a lot without people even knowing.
Yeah,
so it's just they can do it, so they do it.
Yeah.
And in the Netherlands, it's like
We'll find out.
yeah, because we are more open and we are more critical on what is really happening.
And in the USA, it's more like it's their goal to have as much audience as they can possibly get, and it doesn't matter if it's fair or not. They just want to have a big audience, and if it needs to be with prefabricated broadcasting, it doesn't matter for them. Just
what you see in the Netherlands in the media, what I discovered is that those public services broadcasting networks, they show real people, real things. Yeah, I know it sounds kind of vague, but on these shows like RTL, like Hou van Holland or Pop Stars, it's all kind of a bit fabricated and with a script. And when you see like these programs like Man bij zijn Hond or shows where they go to search for lost people, you know, or like Grenzeloos Verliefd or Scholing Verzocht, that's kind of shows. You see more the real people in the Netherlands. And
but that's the difference between
I don't think you have that in the USA that much.
Yeah, and also in the USA you have with talk shows, also you have just regular people who come to these shows and they can say something, but at first they have to say to the producers what they want.
We can conclude that well, it's not that we want the media to change or the reality shows, but we want everyone, the audience, mainly the young audience, to have a more critical view on what they see on television and news, and also not only rely on one source, like also for news and everything. You can check other sources to see different views of the stories, or also, well, not myself the reality shows, but we're talking more about news, right?